Lots of shifts happening again this week. And once again, we are being asked to understand what our truth is and what our purpose is. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm your spiritual reader. And each week, I aim to bring you a collective card pull based on the energy that I receive for the week. So this week, we have a few major things happening. So I'll just go through those first before we start going through the cards. Firstly, in human design, we have a transit happening on the 27th. So that's on Wednesday of this week. And that is where we enter the gate of skills. Okay, so this is gate 16. It's located in the throat center. And there will be more of a focus on focus, essentially, and digging into details and research techniques and building your skills. So when that shift happens on Wednesday, this is a really good time to start building up your skills and really focusing on the details of what it is that you want. Okay. As well as that, obviously, we've moved into Gemini now. Woo! I'm a Gemini. um, and Gemini is all about new ideas, communication, fast paced conversations, connections. So, in terms of if you're in business, this is a really good time to launch things, network, show, collect new skills, share your message, all of those things. And as we know, Uranus has recently moved into Gemini as well, and that will happen for the next 7 years. So, over the next 7 years, expect a lot of kind of exciting opportunities to happen. Expect tech to look very different, which we're already seeing, right? With AI and super AI or whatever it is coming in to play. There's going to be a lot of that over the next 7 years. And also look for unexpected opportunities through things like social media as well. Okay, so all of that will be coming in. And then finally on Sunday, we have on the 31st of May, okay, we have a blue moon. Now, blue moons tend to give us major shifts. Okay, and this one is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is all about truth. So this blue moon will help to reveal the truth for you, and in particular looks at things like travel, because Sagittarius is very into travel, very into teaching, but also thinking about your purpose and spirituality as well. So when we think about where all of this is going, it's very much moving towards, again, the collective understanding who they are, understanding what their purpose is, being more spiritually open, more spiritually connected, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because we are going through this major shift in within human design as well. We are moving out of the right angle cross of planning and into the right angle cross of the sleeping phoenix. So we are moving out of times where structure have been really important, where the good of the tribe has been really important, where systems have been really important. That is all the kind of background message that we lead from, that we are used to, is all changing, and instead it's moving into the individual, and it's going to be more concentrated on your truth, who you are, your purpose, and building up a sense of self. So lots of things happening energetically over the space of this week, over the space of the next few years, over the space of the next century. But let's see what it means this week. So let's get into it. Okay, I'm using my usual deck, this one, which is Dorian Virtue Oracle cards. I love this one. I've had this deck for over 10 years. It's such a beautiful deck. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to first pull 3 cards that will give us a bit of a theme for this week. So what is the theme, first of all, for this week is what we want to know. What is the theme? Okay, so we want this one and this one and this one. Okay, so theme for the week, we've got let your past go, first of all, which is very apt actually. When we have when we're working with this moon energy, a lot of it is to do with releasing, so it makes a lot of sense letting that past go. Time to go, so time to move, okay, is one of the themes. And joy, so thinking about what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. And this card has come up a lot recently when a lot of us are asking, what is our joy? You know, do we need to do the traditional path, or actually does something else make us happier? Okay, so they're the themes for this week. So we've got let your past go, time to go, time to go, and joy. Okay, they're the themes. So let's see now what we need to release in order to move forward this week. Okay, let's see what we have to release to move forward and work with these energies. So what are we releasing first of all? Okay, so the first one we've got is blessing in disguise. So past mistakes, past things that just haven't turned out quite your way, just release that now and see that as a blessing in disguise, because Gemini especially is all about you know, it's very much about lessons, okay, and thinking about what have I learned from this. So when you are thinking about things that haven't worked out, what have you learned from it? What's been the good that has come from it? Okay, seeing the glass as half full rather than half empty. Okay, so that's your first one. So when you're thinking about the past, okay, because this one comes under the let your past go. So let your past go and think about the blessings that have happened from it. So the blessings in disguise. Next one is the ocean card. Okay, this has come up under time to go, so it's making me think that there could be some sort of travel involved in your future. So this could just be a holiday, this could be a business trip, or it could be a more permanent move. And I do see that more and more people are considering moving abroad, and wanting to be more kind of in nature, closer to the ocean. Definitely something that I would love to do. And I am looking to book a holiday as well this year. So a little reminder for you for that. So if this is something that you've been considering, know that it's on the cards for you if you want it. And then the final one we have is Cupid. So bringing in some love for you. Now this comes under joy. So with this card, I'm getting more of a sense of, thinking about the things that you love and how they will bring you joy. So really kind of letting go of anything that just doesn't really feel good to you. So those relationships that you've been hanging on to, those even like just material things, like when your house is full of stuff and it's like, I don't really need all of this stuff, like I don't really love all this stuff. Just sometimes less is more, right? So thinking about what it is that you have that you actually love and focusing more on that and getting rid of things that actually are just not going to bring you that joy that you don't love so much. Okay, right, so now I just want to do another 3 to see how to work with the energies this week. So really interesting cards so far. A reminder to let things go and see things as a blessing in disguise. A reminder to, book that holiday or go on that trip. And then a reminder to keep around the things that we love. Okay, so the first card that's come out for us under the let your past go and blessing in disguise is energy work. Okay, so in order to work with the energy this week, you need to do some energy work as well yourself. So this could look like Reiki healing. This could look like spending time in nature. This could look like an Epsom salt bath. Anything you need to do to just cleanse your aura, cleanse your energy. It could be not spending time with certain people this week who drain your energy, or talking to them on the phone. It could just be putting some boundaries in place to just kind of lift your energy up and get that energy back again. Okay, so that's the first one. Then we're thinking about the time to go and maybe moving abroad or the holiday. So how can we work with the energy this week for that? And the card that we've got is have confidence. Okay, perfect, right? So have confidence to book that holiday and know that you'll get the money and it will all work out. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own, think about your own finances here. But also have the confidence to, if your dream is to move abroad, have confidence to do it. Put the works in motion. This is a great time. We're in Gemini now. This is a great time for communication, connection. Start building those connections to get you there. Okay. And then finally, we've got reward yourself. Finally, we have reward yourself, okay, which makes sense because we're thinking about, when you're thinking about joy and the things that you love, then it makes sense, right? To then reward yourself. So do the things this week that you like to do to reward yourself, and that will help you to determine what are the things you love and what brings you joy. Okay, so it's almost like working backwards here. It's like, okay, let me do something that I enjoy doing. And then when I do that, I figure out who are the people, the relationships, the things that I love. And then that brings me to my joy. Okay. So, really helpful spread this week for helping us work with this energy. What I want to do is just do one final card just to kind of summarize the theme of this week. And I'm going to use Rebecca Campbell's The Inner Temple Oracle. Really beautiful deck. Just to kind of get us a sense of, again, you know, the most kind of important message here. So I want to know the most important message. And in my head, I'm getting me. The most important message is me, which makes sense, right? Because we're working on ourselves always. And there's just even more of a shift of that right now. So thinking about you, the individual. And the card we've got, oh, lovely. Love this card, is freedom. Okay. And on the one side, we've got trapped, and then we've got freedom. And honestly, this kind of phase that we're in, we are in such an important time at the moment where we are really moving towards this freedom. Freedom in terms of our thinking, freedom in terms of our spiritual freedom. Lots of people having a spiritual awakening at the moment, or who are becoming spiritually curious at the moment. And what it's almost like, where we had all these systems and this right angle across the planning, it was good for a certain amount of time. It was what we needed at that point. But now it's trapping us. Okay. It's limiting our thinking. It's limiting what we know we can do. And now we are freeing ourselves from it. Okay. We are understanding ourselves better. We are exploring things better, and we are getting that freedom. It's a beautiful card. So, really interesting spread this week. Lots to kind of think about in terms of what brings you joy, what to let go of, and really kind of going for those dreams. So, really work with these energies this week, and especially this blue moon coming in on Sunday, to help you understand more about your truth, about who you are, because that's going to really help you moving forward in order to get these goals and really kind of find your joy. And that is ultimately what we're doing, right? We're trying to find our joy and find our freedom. Okay. So, as always, I'd love to know how these cards resonated with you, and love to know your own interpretation of the cards. So comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you get all the latest readings.